For me, it was always like a team sport.
Absolutely.
And it's always better that way for me. Like, if we win as a band versus I win as like a frontman, it's always better if, we're all in it together.
Welcome to Hustleshare, the podcast that features the daily grinds of unique hustlers around the world to show not our differences, but that our hustles are very much alike. Now here's your host, Ronster Bae-Pyong.
Welcome to episode 15 of the Hustleshare podcast. My name is Ronster, and I am your host. And this episode is brought to you by Payroll Hero, a time, attendance, scheduling, HR, and payroll solution for Philippine companies. If you are new to the show, basically Hustleshare is a podcast that lets you learn from other hustlers by listening to them. So if you're here to figure out how different you are or how different stuff isn't, that's not what we're trying to do. We are trying to bridge the gap of how hustle is done universally. What do we mean by that? Basically, a lot of us actually have very similar hustles and experiences with each other. The only difference is that we don't talk about it because we always talk about our achievements only, not our struggles in our journey. And that's what we're here to talk about. And then hopefully you can also apply it on your own hustle as well. I'd like to give you a heads up because we keep it real here. That means there's going to be a lot of cussing and expletive language. So if you're not comfortable with that, please turn the volume down. Or make sure that there are no kids, or if this is a not safe for work thing, just be extra careful if you're listening to this in public. Now, this episode is very nostalgic because for the first time, I haven't seen this guy in a long time. We're going to be talking to someone from my past who happens to be also a rock star. So we are talking about Mr. Dino Pascual from the band The Bloomfields. And today we're going to be discussing the hustle of a rock star. So I told you it's very nostalgic because for the first time ever, I went into the Hustleshare time machine with someone. We talked about our childhood and how he started out as a musician and how he progressed in grinding and how he fell in love with music. Also, we discussed his journey on how he won Battle of the Bands and how he took music seriously and the grind he put in to improve in his craft. Then he's also gonna be talking about how he became a part of the Bloomfields because he's not part of the original members of the band and how it was difficult for him to adjust to that playing style. But eventually it became worth it and he fit just right in. And lastly, they're gonna be talking about what's up next for them because they're currently in the middle of producing an album, and we'll talk about how you can help get this out and make sure that OPM lives strong. So if you want to improve your hustle and listen to a rock star and see how you can put that into your hustle as well, let's begin the episode right now. Welcome to Hustleshare episode 15. We're going to be taking a step back because for the past couple of episodes, we've been doing business. I mean, like what I said, if you check out episode 0, I kind of explained that the first ones that we're going to have here are the ones in my close circle. But here, I'm very fortunate because I'm talking to someone from way back from my childhood. Holy shit, I haven't seen this guy in a long time, more than 10 years.
Yeah.
But I grew up with this guy. And we're going to be talking about the hustle of a rock star. Because stop being humble, my man. You're a fucking rock star. And we're here with the lead vocalist of the Bloomfields, Mr. Dino Pascual. Dino, welcome to the show.
Yo, what's up, guys? Thank you very much for having me on Hustleshare, buddy.
What up?
This is awesome. I can't wait. Run, yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think people know that.
Oh, damn it. I was going to segue a little bit to that. So he already said it. They know me. People from way back call me Ron. Fucking stupid. I don't know who.
I love it, bro. You're the only one I know called Ron.
Yeah, and I don't know who other pool soul has that stupid name.
Wait, what do people know you as right now? The Ronster?
Ronster. And for podcast people, I basically name Ronster came from Ronster the Party Monster because I was
gotcha.
doing nightlife,
Gotcha.
and then you know
Alright.
that's too long. I'll just put in Ronster, and I distinguish people that call me Ronster, someone who I don't really know.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
it's like we call me Ronster, like okay, so
you
you're
know me from
there.
online or something.
Yeah. But if you're Ron, that's probably my inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
Then Ron is like from my past, who's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah,
It's
man, we're part of your soul. That's why we know you're Run. There's no
Holy
escaping that.
shit, This is embarrassing. But since you started this shit,
Yeah, man.
before we go there, Dino, let's just describe real quick what's your hustle.
Cool. Yeah. So, like you said, I play in a band called the Bloomfields.
The Bloomfields.
And yeah, the band's been playing for like the past 15 years now. It's
yep.
been a very long,
I'm a fan. I
very
told you
long
that,
journey.
right?
Yeah. So, at the moment, this is what we do full time. The four of
Nice.
us, we really treat it as a business.
Okay, and who are your bandmates, just to shed light for those people who haven't listened to you guys?
Yeah, sure. Rocky Collado is on the drums, also sings. Well, we all sing.
Yeah,
right?
that's
So we're
the
like,
beauty of it, right?
Sort of like the Beatles, where everybody has to sing and
Yep.
can sing.
You're John Lennon.
Something
bro.
like that. Pick one. One
Okay.
of us is that.
Ringo. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
there you
right.
go. And then Lacan is on the lead guitars and
Yep.
Louis is on the bass. So yeah, we're a 4-piece band.
Wow. So before we get into how the Bloomfields was started and whatnot, let's
Sure.
take a step back because you started this with a run right away.
I got
You
you.
caught me off guard. We're
Sorry,
literally
bro.
3 minutes in,
I couldn't.
and you throw me with a run.
It just came to my head. I
I'm pretty
remembered.
sure a lot of our classmates or our teachers. So if our
Oh,
teachers
yeah.
are
What's
listening,
up?
we're gonna cuss them. So sorry about that.
Sorry, teach.
We're grown men now. Okay, we can't take it off of our system.
Exactly.
But Dino, let's take a step back and let's talk about your hustle from before.
Sure.
How you started out as a musician, because we were classmates, dude. I can't remember. Like I literally grew up with you.
Yeah.
Right. I was thin. I was still obnoxious as what it was
Yo.
before. Yeah.
We're all obnoxious, right? That doesn't
Correct.
go away.
Correct. So, Dino, as far as you can remember, here's what I remember for how you started, and I'm gonna ride this.
Go
time
for
machine
it.
with
All
you
right,
because
all right,
I
go.
want to do this.
Go.
This whole reminiscing thing with
Let's
you.
do it. I love it.
I think I was one of the first guys to pick up a guitar, not because I wanted to play the guitar. It was cool. It was the late '90s. The alternative movement
Yup.
was big. Limp Bizkit,
There you
Incubus.
go, there you go.
This was the shit,
Uh-huh.
right? If you're either only two things, rock or hip hop, or metal or hip hop.
Yeah,
Hip hop
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even that prominent before.
It was
yet.
before it used to be metal versus hip hop, right?
Yes. You had to pick one.
Yeah, exactly.
And the cool ones chose rock.
Exactly,
By
exactly,
default.
yeah.
But I kind of deviated in high school and I realized, dude, I'm too flat for this shit.
That's not true, bro.
I'm black as hell.
Yo, you know what? People won't know this, but I attribute the first song I've ever learned
Yes.
through you, buddy. You were the first guy to teach me anything on the guitar.
Well, what did I teach you?
You taught me the theme song to Mission Impossible.
Oh,
Dun, 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 dun,
that
dun.
was
Oh,
easy.
yeah, man, that was dope. When I learned that, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that
We're
was
taking
just
this next
hammering
level.
and shit.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
This is
man.
stupid. But okay, Dino, you started this, and what brought you? And I didn't realize that you were gonna go all the way, right?
You know what? Me too. Because like looking back, everything started for me music-wise
Right.
was basically like you say, it was
Yeah.
all during grade school. Somebody
Right.
brought a guitar. I think
Right.
it was you who had a guitar.
Yeah, my
in
shitty
fact.
ass green guitar, who still lives.
Oh
by the
man,
way.
yes,
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that so vividly. And so yeah, it was just a bunch of people like jamming. Whoever could play would play.
Right.
Whoever could sing would sing.
Yep.
And it's not as if like I ever knew how to sing before
Yeah.
this or even play guitar. So it was just more of just having fun with it.
Correct. Well, you and your best friend Kevin, shout out Kevin. I'm pretty
Shit,
sure. you're
oh,
gonna
what's
be,
up, man? Yeah, sure.
You're gonna be listening to this. You were playing stuff once you got better at it.
Mm-hmm.
You were playing stuff that weren't like mainstream, like Incubus back then, Red Hot Chili Peppers. You're
Yeah.
playing My Girl. You're playing these Billy
The
Joel
old stuff,
right?
yeah. Some
And it's like,
folk
wow,
stuff,
okay,
yeah.
cool. I didn't even know how, because if I look at the song hits, that doesn't exist there. And that's the way you learn guitar before a song hits.
Exactly.
Right,
Oh
right.
man, I owned a ton of song hits before.
Right.
Yeah.
But how did you improve? So we picked up the guitar, and just a little caveat, I left our school And just a little, just sidetrack a little bit on that school. I don't know what it is with the Community of Learners Foundation. But if I look at there's so many rock stars coming from that. You, the Hilera people.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Now Josh is also hitting mainstream.
Yeah.
Did I miss out on anyone more?
Who else? Well, some of our teachers were like from Asin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of our musical teachers were from there. So we had some very good mentors.
Just to give a background of our school in Grace, it's very, very, it's very non-traditional. It's very American style. We only have like 3-4 subjects a day. We didn't have uniforms, so I was wearing shorts all day.
Yeah, no hair restrictions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Some people were rocking mohawks back then.
Yeah,
Woo, I want that too. I remember the first time I got bald, I tried to have a mohawk. I went home. My mom told me, "What the hell do you have on? Get that shit out." So I went back to the barber's, and now I was bald. And every one of you guys was teasing me because I look like an egg, right?
But you kept it. Looks good now, but
it's normal now. I haven't grown my hair since college. I was like, fuck this.
Gotcha.
This is I was late all the time. So
Gotcha.
all right. After that, then I went to school, but there's a lot of stupid shit I did in that school too. The most vivid memory that never left me was when I exploded a fire extinguisher in the classroom.
Oh man, was that you?
Yeah. So
I remember that day.
Some of these guys were playing. I think it was Kevin, Mick, or
yeah.
And I was like playing. It's like, let me get this, and apparently the pin was out. So I pressed the nozzle. The whole fucking fire extinguisher went off.
Yeah. You know what? Let me absolve you of this tragedy, because I remember vividly somebody sat on that.
Yeah, that's
friggin'
Janina.
thing. There you go. Somebody sat on the fire extinguisher. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And you were the good Samaritan when it sprayed open. Took it up and like, let me take this thing out.
Yeah, but there was one classmate who didn't want to leave that room.
Yeah.
It was Janina. She was on her hustle. She wanted to study the whole time.
Yeah, crazy.
So yeah, I left because I loved two things back in grade school. I loved basketball and guitar. And I had to choose, like, I love basketball too much. And unfortunately, I felt like there was no program for me to excel in community of learners, so I had to go to UST, pursue, and it paid off. I got two years paid of high school for free.
Yo, that's dope. I didn't even know that. Awesome.
And whatnot. And then that's when I lost track. Now I want to catch up. What happened to you in high school? Because you were like in a band with Kevin and Laya and whatnot.
Oh yeah. So in when you left, I guess, right? A lot of what we did in high school was just basically jamming, right? So every break, we would just get out a guitar, start singing, either compose a song or try to figure out a song.
Back then,
yeah, man, we composed a lot of songs, me and Kevin, before with our band Kamuning Drive. That was what it was before.
Shout out, I'm from Kamuning.
Yeah, there you go.
I still live in Kamuning.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So it used to be me, Kevin, Laya, and Jed, who's now who was our violinist and eventually became Kevin's wife. Right?
I didn't know this. Wow.
And after high school, I went to college.
Good thing it wasn't Laya and Kevin, because that would have been awkward.
What do you mean? Yeah, man, for sure.
You would have been third wheel the whole time.
Yeah, but back in high school, it was just me, Kevin, and Laya who would usually jam it out. And it all started when we joined this acoustic battle of the bands. And that's when we started taking the music seriously, because we won that shit. Right. And we were like, you know what? Maybe we should start.
And you guys were really good. Not tooting your own horn, but the type of stuff that you guys can do in a guitar is top notch already. It's not. I played too, right?
I got you.
You'll be like, okay, I know I have to do plucking and whatnot.
Yeah.
Power chords.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, my guitar level is the same guitar level, probably even worse than what I was back in grade 5. I haven't picked. I don't even have Calios anymore. Like I'm done.
I've got them for days. I gotta bite them off, or else they won't work.
Keyboard Calio, that's what I have now.
Oh, dope!
Right, so
awesome.
I type too much shit. But for you guys, after the battle of the band, was it like a straight line drive? You like, all right, let's take this seriously.
It kind of just sort of fell that way, because after the battle of the bands, we were just like, because we loved playing, and we were like, we should find a spot that we could just perform at.
Okay.
And that's when we really got into the music, I guess, a little bit more serious because we would go to Laya's house, our lead guitarist, and that's where we'd practice.
Yeah.
And we'd come up, like, before we were starting out, we were asking how many songs we need in the bank to hold a spot.
Wow.
And they were like maybe 30 to
Holy
40
shit.
songs. So I was like, whoa, okay.
Covers,
yeah, all covers.
Right.
And so yeah, that's when we started like to learn all these things, and you know, some of the riffs you need to learn as well, right? So that's when you
and own it too, because you can't display it verbatim, right?
Exactly.
You gotta put your own twang to it. Right?
Exactly. So back in the day, what I would do was just get the guitars as basic as I can,
Right.
so that I could immediately sing it at a gig, and so that's how it worked.
But you were always the vocalist back then.
I was always the vocalist back then.
Because back then, I remember you singing, but dude, I listen to you now like, whoo, this nigga, this guy good. Right?
Oh, man.
But how did you improve your vocal capabilities? Because this wasn't like scientifically taught to us, or you just got better through repetition too.
That is a big part of it, because you know, practice is just you can't get away from practice.
It's muscle memory, right?
Yeah, whatever you do performance day was whatever you practice. So if you didn't practice, you're just doing. You know what I mean? You're not
gonna hit
performing.
that note automatically and didn't practice. Right?
You may if you didn't practice, but chamba lang siya. You know what I mean? You didn't mean to do that. It sounds so much better if you mean it.
Right.
And so practice is one thing, and also a big thing is listening. Like listening to different songs, different genres, and just getting deep into like how did he sing that stuff.
But how did you guys do it? Because back then the internet's not as available with the Spotify's of the world and whatnot. Because there was tapes and CDs. Right? That's how you hustle and grind. If you're lucky, if you have an iPod, you're lucky to have that, and you don't even have the Bluetooth speakers of the world now, right? You have the old school shit. How much hours did you guys spend on that one? And did this carry on through college?
Yeah, because I don't think people now will appreciate how easy it is now to learn a song with YouTube.
Yeah,
they'll teach you exactly how it's played, right? They'll tell you what guitar they used, what the tone was. But back then, the only way we used to learn was kapa.
Right.
And, you know, you learn from other people like, oh my goodness, na kapa mo na kung paano yung kanta na yan. And then, you know, you copy that. And I would always try to, like, watch other performers that I like my hero is Noel Cabaon.
Noel, yes. The reason, again, he's always in call all the time.
Exactly,
right? Oh my God. Right.
So he was my hero, and I used to watch him with some of our teachers, in fact.
Right.
Who were cool. Yeah. And I just copy like, I need to copy exactly how we do it. So I'd study whatever he was doing on the guitar, and then try to rush back home and try to replicate that immediately. So
similar to how basketball players do it. Oh, the Kobe did a fadeaway.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna try to do that fadeaway, and it's the ugliest shit you've ever done.
Exactly.
And boom, air ball.
And that's when the practice comes in.
Yeah. So Allen Iverson, shout out to you. We don't believe you. You're talking about practice, not about the game.
No, man. Hey, taken out of context, that I love Allen Iverson. All he was saying was, if you watch the actual interview, was that he was misquoted. All he was saying was that his coach got angry at him for missing practice.
And you love basketball too.
I love basketball, man.
We used to go at it before.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
and I used to emulate his jab steps all the time.
Oh, everything, man. Everything.
And I remember one thing you told me. I think I kicked you one time because I was trying to do Rodman, and then I accidentally kicked you in the gut.
Oh, like smack in the solar plexus.
Sorry, bro.
That's all. I remember this like it was yesterday. This is
bad,
so
bro.
weird.
Like in the
These are like
court.
core memories, bro. Yeah.
Covered court. It's like I was trying to emulate Rodman. I didn't realize you were there.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah. Man, there's like a catch up in this super Hustleshare.
I know.
Right. Anyway, so Dino, you guys did that, but let's take a quick break. I want to know now what happened after you hit it up with Laya and Kevin and whatnot. You had this band. Was there a point where you like hit like, all right, we gotta split ways because we're not getting anywhere? Let's answer that, more of that after the break. Hey hustlers, let's talk about something really important real quick. Something that a lot of you I know can relate to, especially if you're running a business. And I'm talking about payroll. You know how hard it is and time consuming this is, especially that you have to do it twice a month. And as a guy who's been running tech startups for over 10 years now, this is something that I did not enjoy doing at all. It's not like it's because I don't like paying my employees. No, but it's already hard looking for funding to fund for your payroll, and then it's so much more harder if you're doing this manually. Luckily, I've found something that I highly recommend that you try, and it's from our friends from Payroll Hero. And here's how Payroll Hero works. They use your employee's face as your primary biometric to avoid buddy punching and ghost employees. So unless your team can figure out a way to swap each other's faces, tracking time and performance will never be your problem again. Payroll Hero is also very consumer friendly because it's also based on web and mobile, and it's also cloud-based, so you never have to worry about your clunky old biometric machines. So now you can automate time, attendance, scheduling, HRIS, and a payroll platform wrapped all in one. We have a very special bonus for you hustlers listening on the Hustleshare podcast. All you need to do is go to www.payrollhero.ph and use the promo code Hustleshare to get a 60-day free trial. That's technically 4 payrolls that you can do all for free, so you can see how it works for you. And the beauty about it is there's no upfront payment needed to do this. So never worry about payroll again. With Payroll Hero, optimizing work productivity with happiness. And we are back from the break. We're still with a Rockstar.
Oh my goodness, man.
That sounds so wrong. Dino Pascual. So Dino, after Kamuning Drive, what was it straight Bloomfields for you? Or how did you like, all right, guys, we got to stop this. I got to do something else and whatnot. What was there a point where, you know what, just like every other musician, this is a struggle because you got to invest so much time and the money's not there. You got to pay for your own keep.
Exactly.
Right? It's I respect musicians because this is really all out of love.
Yes,
right?
bro. It's a passion, and for sure.
The money, it doesn't come right away at all. If you're lucky, you're gonna be lucky also if it comes.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
So for you, after Kamuning Drive, was there a point where like, guys, what do we do now?
Not necessarily, because actually throughout most of my college days, I guess until second year college.
Where do you study, by the way? I didn't get
UP music,
cool,
yeah.
Cool. Oh,
yeah, I actually took music, yeah.
Shit.
But I took Asian music.
Asian.
So my
Japanese, whatever.
All of those.
Oh,
my main instrument was the Magindanaoan kulintang.
No way.
Yeah, so oh yeah, dude.
Oh wow.
I was dope. My teacher, Mama Aga, is like a pioneer in like notating traditional kulintang music, which nobody does, and she's a beast.
Shit. So wow.
Yeah.
So you really took this on because as far as I know, there's only 2 legit music schools here. It's either UP or you go conservatory in UST.
Yo, those are pretty strong ones. Yes, for sure. Yeah.
I don't know anyone else. Again, I'm very vague on this. I don't know.
I think Saints Code might have, but I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this. Maybe they have a program.
Again, I'm just being naive. So don't judge me for being naive.
No, yeah, but yeah, there are tons of great music programs out there.
So you really took this on.
I have to. Can I tell the story about how I got into the College of Music? It was basically after.
So how did you again get into the College of Music, and how did you choose that path?
So when I was just about to graduate, 4th year.
Okay.
I took the UPCAT, did not pass the UPCAT.
Okay.
But in my mind, since forever as a kid, I was like, I'm going to UP Diliman for college. I don't know how I'm going to do it, right? But I was going to get in, and I think very irresponsibly, a month before the exams for the music program, for the College of Music, because it's a separate exam altogether. Of course, because it doesn't. You're
it doesn't
not
translate,
right?
Academics. How do you pluck a guitar with your square root? Fuck that.
Exactly.
Right.
So I took lessons for a month to try to get in. And even my teacher was like, you know what? If you don't get in now, you always have next year. So I was like, this isn't looking great, because man, who really like looking back, it was a dumb idea to just start it at that point.
Right.
But by some grace of God, I was able to get in.
Wow.
And
that's divine intervention too.
For sure. And yeah, from there I just fell in love with Asian music and music in particular because it's just a universal language.
Yeah.
Music brought me to different places, like different countries.
Wow.
Got to perform in Thailand, in China, everywhere. So yeah, it was pretty huge for me.
And it's a universal language, and every culture has music embedded in their whole thing.
Exactly. And it's not necessarily just for them. Music isn't necessarily just for listening, just for enjoyment. For some cultures, it's very deeply rooted into their religion, you know.
True.
And for them, it's how you call people.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a wide range of views of music.
So while you were doing that, you were still doing Kamuning Drive.
Still doing Kamuning Drive. So every after class,
you jam.
I would go to this place in Matalino Street. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yep. UP Village.
Yep. Called Greenhouse. It's not there anymore. It's replaced by like Seattle's Best or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, the owners there were really nice, and they gave us a spot, and we were playing there every Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, just like every other gig, they don't really pay you much.
Oh no, man! But for me, that was huge. I was getting like in music terms, piso, which is 1,000 pesos. Right. And for me, that was big. If I could play once a week, that's $4,000 a month. And I was like, that settles all my drinking bills, you know?
True.
Yeah.
So after that, how did you progress now to? I mean, let's take give a little bit of a light on the Bloomfields. The Bloomfields existed before with the different set of members, right?
Yes.
How did you? And then I saw like, holy shit, Dino is the new vocalist of the Bloomfields, right? How did that come to fruition?
So basically, so like I said, I was playing in this place called Greenhouse Grill, right? And the band, the Bloomfields, had just broken up at that point.
Everyone.
Well, they were at odds already. Like it was just about to.
Wow, just
fall
like
off.
most bands that they go through, they hit even Queen had to go through this.
Right? Yeah. So they had a turning point where like, I think we're gonna have to.
Wow. So go separate ways.
Right. And at that time, it was actually Rocky and Lacan who scouted me from Greenhouse Grill because Rocky's uncle said that he knew of a guy who sings Beatles and is from Ateneo. Right? That was his vision of me.
That's not you. Right.
And mind you, I sang 4 Beatles songs at that point.
Okay.
And but of course I was a huge fan because the Beatles are like they basically created
Tito music.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
So
but
Tito music, but man,
it'll never grow old.
Yes, exactly.
Right? It will resonate similar to how Queen is.
Exactly.
It will resonate through
Timeless,
generations
right?
to generations.
Exactly. Right? And so that was the beginning of it because every after set I would do at Greenhouse, I'd go around the tables and just welcome people in.
Right.
Like I'd be like, "Is there any songs you guys want to hear? I hope you guys are having a good time." And then I eventually came to their table. Where they were sitting.
And you didn't know them.
I didn't know. And these guys were smashed out of their brains. They were drinking a lot.
We're the drunk pills.
Yeah. But they were having fun, right?
Yeah.
And so I did my usual spiel. I was like, where are you guys from? What do you guys do for a living?
Right.
And then they said, we're actually in a band too. And I was like, oh, dope.
Nice.
And because I didn't know who they were.
Yep. They had a smash hit before Ale, right?
Ale, yeah, for sure. Right. And
so Ale was their hit song, and then they were hammered, right? And how did they scout you? How did they recruit you? Sorry.
Well, basically, when we got to talking, they were like, are you interested to maybe try and jam with us?
Okay.
A few times, like do a few practice sessions, and I was like, I was a music student. And doing nothing really, so I was like, you know what? Why not? Couldn't hurt.
Nothing to lose.
Right? Yeah, like I would love to try out different music. So, and that's when it started. We practiced once, and I was even with I guess 2 other guys.
Wow.
Who were trying? I think they were trying to scout them as well.
Like Journey scouting Arnel Pineda.
Something like that, but less serious. But. Right. Yeah, so we were there, started jamming out, and at the end, I think we just they clicked with me more.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't really know how the process happened, but such a long time ago. But we started doing a few gigs, and I had to learn a ton of songs that. Like I didn't even know. I had to switch from playing. I used to play. My main instrument was a acoustic guitar, and I did a lot of plucking, like Noel Cabangon style, right?
Right. Now you have this heavy.
And now I had to learn how to play electric guitar, and I suck.
The riffs are different.
Yeah, the whole playing style is different. Playing with a pick was completely foreign to me too, so I had to like take a crash course on just like playing. And the first gig I ever did, which I had to learn 40 to 30 new songs for this one day.
One day?
Yeah, and that was like maybe.
How would you flunk that? You need a freaking like guide.
And they don't use guides. They don't have a lyric sheet. They don't have anything. And that was my forte before, because I would be in front of like a book, right?
Was it a struggle, to say the least?
It was a super struggle. It was a super stretch for me. Number one, to be standing, to be dancing while playing. You know what I mean? Like it's a completely different kind of energy than sitting down and just singing.
True.
And so, yeah, it was a crash course in how to play rock and roll, how to do the Beatles.
Right.
And even now, I'm still like figuring out how to do it. Like it's not as if I did it before and now I need to evolve it into something better. You know what I mean?
Was there a struggle also coming in, because you're this new guy, but you're the face now too, right? I mean, at the end of the day, let's call a spade a spade. The vocalist always is or the guy at the middle always gets the chicks and everyone else and whatnot, right? Let's just call it like that's what it is, bro.
I gotcha, maybe, but to begin with, I wasn't like in the middle or anything. Like I was on the side singing, and to be honest, the way I really treated the Bloomfields was that just the way the Beatles were, like everyone's a star.
Stars, all-star team, right?
Everyone brings something to the table. Like I will bring, my particular way of singing to the table.
Yep.
And Lacan will play like his guitars. He makes those sing, and Rocky's a killer on the drums, and he sings as well.
He sings too. Holy shit,
man,
that's
and
so hard.
Louis sings as well, and he's super energetic on the bass. He's like infectious. So, I never really treated it as I am the front man and
got it.
I got all the chicks. Like for me, it was always like a team sport.
Absolutely.
And it's always better that way for me. Like if we win as a band versus I win as like a front man, it's always better if we're all in it together.
Now I want to know. So now you're part of this band, and what you also guys do is you have good branding. And I want to know the whole packaging around it, because, dude, it's hard to play in a gig, let alone play in a whole freaking coat and tie. It's fucking hot. Sometimes you play outside and there's no AC. What the fuck? What's the preparation like for you guys? At least walk us through that. How many hours do you play and whatnot? Because also you do covers, right? Majority of the time before. Yeah. And also at the back of your head, I'm pretty sure you guys also do your own songs.
Yes.
Right? Was that intentional that you're going to do covers first, at least?
Well, of course, the Bloomfields were always known as... they were known for doing Beatles songs or 60s, 70s rock and roll. The Beach Boys, right. So a lot of vocal harmony, right. And so the peg was always we always hear this, like the Bloomfields always pegged as the Beatles of the Philippines. True, right? And that's not a bad branding. You know what I mean? Like
I do it well.
That's great. Right. I'd take that any day of the week. But yeah, that's what we used to do before, and we love like the Bloomfields. As a band, we love doing those songs.
That's your brand too.
Exactly.
Now, for the preparation part, how much hours? Walk us through. Let's shed some light, because this is something that people don't see up front.
Sure.
What is it before a gig? How do you guys do your preparation? How do you talk and whatnot? Because this is foreign to a lot of people.
So a lot of the time, especially at the beginning, it was all about practicing as a band. So how it would work would be, this Wednesday, these are the 3 songs that we're going to learn.
Okay.
And then, so before going to practice, you have to learn it by yourself first so that you have something to bring.
Yeah. You can't just be I don't know.
which is totally different from me before, because the way me and Kamaning Drive would practice, like
on the fly. Right.
It was more of a hangout than it was a practice, right? We're like, yo, let's hang out and then let's figure out some songs that you guys want to play.
Okay.
And then we'll hash it out there.
There's a system to this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, with the Bloomfields, there's a system. Come in with some stuff.
Right.
Then we'll jam it out, right? And so, yun, it's a lot of checking each other's work, finding out if that's exactly what you're gonna do. Saan ka po puesto sa gitara?
Wow.
Like if Lacan's gonna be doing this riff, what am I supposed to be doing?
Right. You can't be making sapaw.
Yeah, you can't be making sapaw. You can't be all just playing the same chords the same way. You know what I mean? So you have to really like hash out each part. So we sort of treat like each song as like a piece. You know what I mean? So it's not just
like a real art.
Yeah, for sure. And I have to credit the Bloomfields for like really instilling that in me.
Right.
That focus to detail, and how each guitar or the bass drum or the bass will interact with each other to create this specific sound.
Got it. Now, how about the instruments? Because it's fucking expensive. I'm running this podcast and I invested. It's not much, but for you guys, how many guitars alone? They don't come cheap. It's not like the fucking guitar shops are just gonna give it to you for nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta invest so much.
Yeah, well, you gotta invest in yourself. The best person to invest in is yourself. And if for me specifically, my craft is creating music. So, if the quality of my instrument will also be the quality of the music that I produce. So
they're not cheap.
Exactly. But then at the end of the day, I know there are a lot of things that aren't cheap.
Yep.
But they make so much sense for you to buy. You know what I mean? Like for me, with the first time I bought my acoustic guitar, I was like, it was 16 grand, and I was like, where am I gonna get money for this? But it was a no-brainer, because for me, it's like, the moment I got it, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Beautiful. 16 grand. Perfect.
Correct.
And it's an investment in yourself and in your craft. And you don't really lose money that way.
Correct.
Like,
it's going to pay back itself.
For sure.
Some way down the road. But, now let's talk about performance time. Now, you're just like any other person. You're not 100%. And the way you guys are dressed, it can be very uncomfortable at times.
Yup.
First of all, let's just side note. Who came up with this thing that you gotta dress up that way?
So I remember this because I always knew the Bloomfields before. They were always in suit and ties.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, so freaking tacky this stuff. Like, oh my goodness. I remember seeing the Bloomfields for the first time. I was like, oh, what a product. You know what I mean? Of the industry.
Right.
But that all changed when I met them, because man, these guys are passionate about the music, and the way they started out with the way it ended up with us wearing suit and ties was just brilliant. You know what I mean? I think what happened was they played for a prom, and so of course, kailangan ng korbata ka.
Right.
You gotta be in a suit.
A slob goes to a prom.
I don't know if I'm remembering this right with how they told me, but I think they did a gig like that, like a high school dance, and they were like, man, this actually looks pretty dope. And so they continued with that, right? And it also fits in with like playing the Beatles or Beach Boys. So and just the look got updated.
Got it.
Until we were wearing like nicer fitting suits. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And
those are not cheap either, too.
Those aren't cheap too. Yeah, you have to have those things.
You have to have the right fit. You can't have a buffed up shoulder, because how are you going to strum your guitar?
Exactly.
Like a scarecrow.
So that was a learning curve too, like playing in formal attire and jumping and dancing and everything like that. Yeah.
Now, come performance time, not everybody's feeling well and whatnot. The show must go fucking on.
Yeah.
Right. How do you dig deep and like, all right, we gotta dance. We're not just like any like whatever, right? We gotta perform.
Exactly.
How do you prepare for that when you come on stage and it's game time? How do you help each other out, or at least from your end? I don't care if I have a fever or whatnot. I gotta deliver.
Well, first of all, I've played in every condition imaginable.
Okay, like, walk us through some examples of that.
I've played with like basic stuff. Sipon. I've played paos without a voice. I've played with dengue.
Holy shit.
Yeah, for sure. I've played, of course, super drunk. Like barely.
That's a good one.
Barely audible, which sounds better.
Yep.
Sometimes, but yeah,
not
you just
you slur. Not until you slur. Right.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we call ourselves a professional band.
Right,
so when it comes time to play a gig for us, at least for me, a switch turns on. You know what I mean? Like, it's time to perform.
Right.
Even if I feel shitty the whole day, a smile will spark up, and I'm like,
suck it up, and then
suck
let's
it
go.
up. You know what I mean? Like, you get into, you do it enough times that you can get into a zone where, like, whatever it is, if I'm in this zone, I'm fine. You know what I mean? And sometimes the less well I feel, the better I will project. You know what I mean? Because I'm overcompensating for that.
Right. So the adrenaline kicks in, but after the performance, bro, like, holy God.
Yes,
like,
sir. Like, the adrenaline drops and just like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I just got to go home. That's when you figure out, maybe I'm not part of the party lifestyle so much. When you stop drinking after the gigs.
Correct. It's hard. I mean, I did nightlife for a while for like 8-9 years.
Sure.
Holy shit.
That takes
after
a toll
like
on
a
your body.
good 2 to 3 years, I'm like, I'm done.
Right,
My only vice before was I smoked, but I got cold turkey as well because I smoked too much. Like, smoke like 2 packs a day. Holy shit.
Shit.
I'm done. Like, I start feeling well, and now at least I feel my lungs back. So
that's good. Yeah, I used to smoke as well, and
it's hard, especially for a singer. Your main
for sure.
investment is your voice,
for sure.
And the first target of a cigarette is your vocal cords.
Yeah, because you're putting smoke on your for sure.
So anyway, Dino, let's take another break, and when we come back, let's talk about now what you guys are doing, because you're going to this new journey that you guys are going as a band and as a performer, right? You're putting up a new album.
Yes,
right?
sir.
And that's why I actually wanted to talk to you, because I feel that the listeners of Hustleshare will be able to hook you guys up.
For sure.
But let's discuss more of that after the break.
Effective automation is the best way for businesses to stay competitive. And having a chatbot for your business lets you easily automate and optimize sales, marketing, and customer service in the digital age. Chatbot PH will build, train, maintain, and market your chatbot across all messaging platforms. Our team uses the latest AI technologies to enable you to better serve customers 24/7, 365. Set a meeting with us today. Message us now at m.me/chatbotph.
And we're back. That's the last part of the Hustleshare podcast. We're still with my Rockstar kababata.
Man, I can't get used to
I'll
that.
always use that. Then that's what we're gonna call this, the hustle of a rock star.
Oh, man.
But come on, that's what it is. Now Bloomfields. I saw a video of you, not the bad video that you shouldn't be. It's a good video.
Bad video.
Yeah, no sex scandals or whatnot.
No, none, sir. Not yet.
Make sure you delete that shit though, for real. So for you guys, you guys are putting up a new album, and you recently put up a video about the support you guys need to get this done. Now, can you talk about that in detail, so that for the listeners of Hustleshare who happen to be fans of you guys, I'm pretty sure a lot of the people who are fans of the Bloomfields are listening here. What are you guys trying to do now?
So at the moment, we are trying to crowdfund, like I said, this brand new album that we want to release this 2019. And because, it's this new album that we're doing, it's very exciting because we're self-producing it.
Yes. When you say self-producing, meaning there's no help from the labels to get this done?
No.
Wow.
No help whatsoever. We're not even under any particular label that is producing this for us.
Wow. So you're on your own.
Yes.
Wow.
So
as an indie type kind of thing.
As an indie type.
Right.
So basically, you're right. Yeah. Because it's, man, at the age of technology now, you can, if you know enough, you can do most of the things yourself.
And there's a lot of also good artists coming up too.
Exactly.
Like there's this Dalagang Pilipina. Those guys, it's funny because it became viral. But I was listening to, there's like, oh, these guys are legit.
Yeah,
like,
man. Yeah.
So they know their shit. But for you guys, this is very exciting because again, for the longest time, a lot of people knew you as a cover band. And going here, just a little side note, I was listening to your original song, Tutut.
Yeah.
It's stuck in my head with an LSS.
Awesome. Yeah.
So it's good. With that, so you have this teaser content now, which is Tutut. If you're on Spotify, just look TUTUT.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Under
it.
the Bloomfields, yeah.
Correct. And for when you're self-produced, what do you mean? And what are the resources do you guys need to get this done?
So a lot of the resources actually go to mixing and mastering the songs that we record. And basically recording the songs in itself, because I don't know if you know, studio time is very expensive.
Yep.
And when you're trying to create music, it's not cut and dry where you'll just produce it within an hour. Right. Sometimes it takes a whole day from 12 to 12.
My podcast takes 4 hours per episode at least to edit, and there's no music in it. It's just all vocals.
There you go. And so, time compounds and money compounds, and you got to release these things properly. You have to get into the right venues. You have to create, you have to advertise them online, on the radios, and you have to create posters, and you have to make the actual CDs and everything. So it's a huge undertaking financially. And we did this before with an all-original album that we had called Hit the Ground Running, way back in 2010. And
that's almost 10 years ago.
Exactly. It was a great album, and we produced it, but the thing was, we weren't really able to market it properly because we didn't have the funds to back it up. We had enough to create the CDs and a mall tour.
But that's just the first part.
Exactly.
You gotta promote the fuck out of it.
Exactly. So the tail end wasn't there, and that's what we're trying to really create with this one, because we want to create music videos for this upcoming album. We may even release it on vinyl.
Wow, old school.
Yeah, man,
wow.
Like really, really nice stuff. And at current, what we have now, which is also part of our crowdfunding project, is for a specific donation, you can actually get a cassette tape of our...
Holy shit, old school. I don't know how they're going to play that.
No, it's an MP3 cassette tape. So you can put your headphones straight into that actual cassette tape.
So it's a merch from you guys.
For sure.
All right, so if they want to pledge or support here, first of all, are you privy to at least how much you're trying to raise as a whole?
Yes. So right now we're trying to raise 300,000 pesos.
Dude, that's doable.
Yeah, because we really want to hit the goal, and we just need fuel to get us started.
Dude, that's doable. I swear. One investor who's listening here, or one rock person who's listening to this. I mean, in startups, just to shed some light. One seed round can be here in the Philippines, probably would be around 50,000 USD. That's around 2.5, 3 and whatnot. So some angel here who has a little bit of money.
Maybe we'll just up it to 1.5 million.
There you go. No, but this is for a good cause. If you love music, if you feel like, and you don't have to write the whole check, right?
No, you
don't.
Put
a couple thousand in there. And whatnot.
In fact, let me talk about some of the donations. So the donations range from like 500 to which 500 will get you as a reward some stickers, some buttons, and a ticket to our album launch.
There you go.
And the ranges go from, I think, 5 to 2,000 to 5,000, 10,000, all the way up to 100 grand. And 100 grand can actually get you all our merchandise, which is all our t-shirts, the cassette tape, the CD, a bunch of tickets to the album launch. And you actually get private performance from the Bloomfields.
Private performance in your bedroom is so...
However you want it, you get a gig out of the Bloomfields.
When you're about to sleep. No, but Dino, this is really, really good, because now you're in control.
Yes,
and just like a lot of people, a lot of hustlers that listen to the show want to be in control of your destiny. Right? Now, all we needed is, just like in any startup, like I needed help. And I'm trying to pay it forward to you guys, because a lot of people who listen to the show also are trying to... And again, just like any startup here that we're trying to support, we support OPM. We help each other out. So that little whatever money can go a long way to help this band reach that next level. And just listen to them. They are dope.
Thanks, buddy.
And that's really good. But Dino, how do they do that if they want to pledge?
Yeah. So what you can do immediately is go to the Spark project where we have our crowdfunding campaign.
Pat Julai, who's also a startup founder.
There you go. Shout out.
Right.
And you can go to their website. Just type in thesparkproject.com.
Yep.
And we are actually their featured.
There you go.
Project at the moment.
The guys who's wearing some suit and tie, that's them. They're laughing.
Yes, we're all in blue suits and ties.
There you go.
And what you're funding is the album called A Drop into the Blue.
A Drop into the Blue.
Right.
There you go. How far out are you guys now?
So far,
almost halfway.
Or 43%.
Dude,
there.
That's just one. Again, some dude out here can write that check and then, ooh, let's go.
Oh, we'd love that. We would love that. And we've got 27 days to go. So by the time this gets released, it's probably gonna be like what?
20 days.
20 days
right.
ish.
So this is still a good chunk. I'll chip in. I'll
For sure,
I'll do
thanks,
this.
buddy. Thanks.
I got you. So from that point, Dino, let's talk about the hustle. So again, I know a lot of musicians. By default, I was also a musician too. I just didn't pursue it.
Gotcha,
I felt like
you were the first of us, man.
Right, but again, there was something that I felt like was very natural. I'm makulit by default.
Yeah.
And everybody knows me like for that.
Gotcha.
So I just learned how to harness it in the right way and make it work for me. For a musician, right? Not everybody can afford to do it full time. It's a tough gig, right? What were the tips that you can show those indie artists or up and coming artists? Because you guys are fortunate for you guys to do this full time.
Yeah.
Not all bands can do that. A lot of I know a couple like the drummer of Autotelic, Jet Makadaig, right? They didn't do that full time until recently, where they really just boom and whatnot, right? How do you get to that point where you can officially now do this full time?
I think, when it comes to music, there's no real reason to do it,
Right.
other than if you really like it.
Of course.
And for me, to get to the point where you can, so to speak, quit your day job and pursue music,
Right.
Would have to be, my advice would be, let's say you have a regular 9 to 5. All the hours that you don't use for your work, you do it for your side hustle, which might be music or whatever.
Okay.
But the one thing that's the most important thing to develop for me would have to be your habits, because whatever habits you have with your work will directly translate to the habits you will have with music. Because at the end of the day, like for instance, playing guitar, it will give you as much as you want based on how much time you've spent with
True.
it. Right?
You reap what you sow.
Exactly.
Right.
So for me, if you're someone in a regular job and you want to take your band to the next level and have it be your main source of income, is try to do the 2 trains theory. I don't know if you...
trains here. Not 2 chains.
Not 2
I
chains.
know 2 chains.
2 chains can work too.
All right.
He knows his stuff. But 2 trains theory, where if your job is your main train and it's moving, let's say, I don't know, 50 miles an hour, and your music train's just moving 30 miles an hour, try to incrementally speed that up. And if it starts moving faster than your regular one, then you can jump ship.
Got it.
And now if your music career starts earning more, than what you're doing on a regular basis, then you have a choice.
That's true, and that's also true with startups, right? A lot of people that do startups, you gotta find a way to survive.
Exactly.
And that's one of the main mistakes I did as well as an entrepreneur before. I bet all in, and I was lucky because I was still young. So what's at stake was I didn't have a girlfriend, and whatnot. There's very raw, and somehow my mom can still support me, but now I can't take that risk anymore. I got bills to pay. We're gonna go broke in a month. Right? We're gonna get thrown out. Right? We can't afford that. So make sure that the bases are covered.
Yes.
So when the bases are covered, and let's talk about money. People that let's talk about passion. Like, come on now.
At the end of the day, you gotta pay the bills, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to pay the bills.
Exactly.
Right? And whether it's your 9 to 5, and there's no shame in that, by the way.
Yeah, of course, man.
You need to be able to survive.
Yeah. Why would people be ashamed of a 9 to 5?
Correct. And then after that, we're also gonna be doing the other stuff, which is your passion project. But still, you got to make money out of it. So you got to think of it like a business.
Yes.
You are your own business.
Exactly.
Right.
And you can't just be one thing now. Like, especially for musicians, you can't just be... I mean, like, I'm sure you can survive if you're an amazing musician and you just rock it out all the time and people get you all the time. But for the most part, as a band or even as a solo artist, you just have to know, number one, how to market yourself.
Yep.
Number two, how to talk to clients or talk to other people. And number three, you got to learn how to do stuff online.
Yes, that's the biggest thing now. Right?
Yes, people have to adapt to the new market.
Right. I mean, there's another example, a Discover band, but they kind of gotten controversial a bit. Agsunta.
Oh.
Right.
Well, I didn't.
So Agsunta is a cover band.
Gotcha.
But they use their covers, and if it's a new song, they also do that. And they got into a lot of trouble lately. Just look it up. But
oh, really?
And they took down all their content on YouTube.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
Again, but again, the ability to make traction,
is
easier now.
Even for me, the Agsunta, right?
Right.
For me, that's what they did is even fine. Like, make those mistakes.
Right.
Right. Because the market is so young. You don't even know. You don't even know what works yet or what doesn't work.
Yeah.
People have a little bit more of an idea now, but.
True.
Nobody knows what thing is gonna be viral. What the next click is gonna be. So yeah, for me, as long as you're just trying to adapt and do different things,
correct,
and experiment, there's no way you can lose unless you stop.
Correct, but you got to learn your mistakes. Don't do the same shit over and over again because that's insanity. Right?
Exactly. So
yeah.
Experience is the best teacher.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Dino, what else would you say for those people who are in the grind, they're doing gigs, they're earning the piso that you were talking about, and whatnot? How would they get in? How do they get discovered by the right people? Who are the type of people that they look for so that they'll have a better chance of at least making it big? The traditional route. I mean, there's always YouTube, right? That's your way direct to the consumer.
Yeah.
But let's talk about let's call a spade a spade. Labels run this fucking business.
Yeah.
Right? How do you discovered by the labels?
Actually, I'm gonna fall back to where labels look for bands now?
I don't know.
Online. So, correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be just blowing this out of my ass, but labels now, the game is content.
Correct.
Who is creating the most content usually wins. Correct. Sometimes it's not about who's the best.
Right.
It's more about who gets seen more.
All right.
Right.
So even so, for example, a lot of musicians do it the same way you did it. You're jamming. But that's content already. Document that shit. Go to a studio.
There you go. Yep.
Get a cheap ass webcam or whatnot.
Yes.
Document that.
Yep.
Have at least a decent mic to cover the whole thing. Document you're paying for the studio time already anyway. Yep. Right? Then fucking document that. Upload it. You'll never know.
Exactly, and that's content you can create, and that's hype that you can already work on. And if you have something, for instance, bands who are just starting up, record your stuff, like even if just GarageBand, and then send it to these labels.
True.
Because you'll never know. And most of the time, they'll ask for like the rights to be able to release this online and all of that, and that can get you started really, really quickly.
Right. And then eventually that second train that Dino was talking about will eventually catch up.
Exactly.
So again, Dino, I hope we had more time, but I know you got to do some shit.
Everybody's got to do some stuff.
You're in the middle of finishing your album at the moment.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's good. So in 20 days, more or less, give and take, the new album's going to come out. But if you want to listen to the Bloomfields, how do they do that, Dino?
Yeah, please do just search on all of your online platforms. Look for the Bloomfields on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, and of course you can search for our crowdfunding project on thesparkproject.com. Just look for the Bloomfields. Once again, our project is called A Drop Into the Blue. And you can support us there. And Support OPM. And if you guys want to catch us live, you can always check out our gig schedules. It's all up on Facebook. And shout out to Ben Sherman. Just real quickly, I got to put that in for suiting us up for all of those gigs.
So that's how you look so good now.
That's right, man. They're keeping us fly at the moment.
There you go.
So I got to shout that out. Yep.
All right, so again, this has been Hustleshare. If you guys liked what you heard today, please don't forget to subscribe and follow on your favorite podcast app. And if you'd like to suggest any new hustler that you want to see, it doesn't matter if it's businessman, musician, as long as there's a hustle to it, we'll feature it here. Please message us in our chat bot on Messenger. Just search for Hustleshare or go to m.me/Hustleshare. Thanks again, Dino, my man.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Ron.
Oh, God. All right, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.